Hello, Dune lovers, and welcome to my Spice Wars in 5 Minutes series, where I try to explain how a system in the Dune Spice Wars game works in 5 short minutes or less. Today we will be talking about the Landsraad election system and everything to do with it, including Landsraad Standing, voting, resolution modifiers, and more. Before we begin, a few quick disclaimers. The current version of the game and the date of this video's recording can both be seen on screen now. Updates to the game are frequent and impactful, so I will do my best to pin a comment if this information becomes outdated, but do keep it in mind. These guides aim to provide a quick but complete overview of the system. They will help you make an informed decision, but don't rely on them to teach you the optimal strategies to use in-game. Right, disclaimers are done. Let's begin. 21 days after the start of the game, the first Landsraad Council will gather and voting will immediately commence. The voting period will then close 6 days after that. During this time, you may edit your votes freely, adding and removing them as you see fit. However, once the voting period passes, your decisions for that vote are final, so choose wisely. For every council after the first, you can preview the resolutions 4 days before the council opens for voting. Voting uses 2 resources, votes and influence. You can see how many of each are owned by every participant in the lobby through the Landsraad menu. Notably, smugglers start the game with 0 votes, but gain 50 votes when they reach their first hegemony milestone. If you run out of votes, you can continue to vote by using your influence in increments of 10. You can tell when you're using influence if your vote number turns blue, as shown on screen. Influence, unlike votes, is consumed at the end of the council, so it's recommended that you use all your votes as they don't get consumed and cost you nothing, but you might want to save your influence for a future election if you're not interested in the current ones. Election results are determined on a majority vote basis. This means that for each resolution, the result is the one which was voted for most. For targeted resolutions, the faction with the most votes gets elected. For global resolutions, they either pass or don't pass, depending on whether they were supported or declined. You can mouse over the resolutions after the council to see the votes they gathered. Landsraad Standing is a crucial subsystem relating to elections. There are 5 tiers of reputation determined by your current standing, each with its own positive or negative effects, which I will now show on screen. Pause the video if you want to check them out, but in short, low standing bad, high standing good. Standing is also required for charters, which I promise we'll get into in just a moment. You can gain standing from a variety of techs, elections, from side objectives, a main base building, some points of interest, and probably some other sources as well. You can lose Landsraad Standing through side objectives, betraying a truce, corrupted resolutions, trial of the great houses, and launching a nuke. Whoops. The Fremen, and factions like them that have no Landsraad Standing, can neither gain the benefit of high standing nor suffer the detriment of low standing. This includes the smugglers at the beginning of the game when they have no standing, although they do gain 200 when they reach their first hegemony milestone and join the council. As I promised, let's talk about charters. Charters are special resolutions for which you have to qualify by fulfilling a specific set of requirements. Unlike regular resolutions, charters last until either the game ends or they are removed by a special resolution called Loss of Rights. You can see the specific effects and requirements of each charter by mousing over it at the top of the Landsraad menu. The person who obtains a charter for the first time in a game is granted 2,000 Solari and 20 Landsraad Standing. If that charter then moves to someone else with another vote, that person does not gain these extra benefits, but instead just steals the charter away from you. A charter cannot be owned by 2 people at once. In Battle for Arrakis and Canley Duel, there is a special charter called Dune Governor, which grants 10,000 Solari when first obtained, but no Landsraad Standing. Obtaining this charter and holding it for 30 days, or 20 for Canley Duel, wins you the game. This is called a political victory. If someone gains governor, though, the following vote will always contain loss of rights, so don't rest on your laurels just yet. Minor houses have 300 votes, which they distribute among resolutions basically at random. There are a few limited ways to manipulate where they go, such as a smuggler's underground headquarters building, Speaker of the Council preventing them from voting you to negative resolutions, etc. There are ways to grant the minor houses more votes, but there is currently no obvious benefit to this. You will almost never interact with these, so don't worry too much about them. Resolution modifiers are these little extra effects tied to a resolution. These can be applied by factions, such as Harkonnen's Corruption, or randomly appear, such as Darling of the Minor Houses. You can see their effects by just mousing over them. The Charter Judge of the Council makes you immune to negative resolution modifiers, such as the Fremen's Incite Rebellion and the Harkonnen's Corruption. Notably, resolution modifiers can never appear on charters, nor can they be applied to them. And that's it. That's all you need to know about the Landsraad to make informed decisions in the game. Many thanks to the Dune Discord community for inspiring and encouraging me to make these guides, and thanks to you for watching. Please leave a comment under the video or ping me on the Dune Discord with the next guide you'd like me to make. Hope I helped, have a wonderful day, and remember to nuke the Fremen.